Aubrey, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July to you, Jess. I love the 4th of July. It's such a fun
Me
holiday.
too, me too. We record this early, guys. I hope you know that by now. That's how
Yeah.
podcasts work. On the 4th of July, James and I are going to be on our road trip still, and we'll
So
be in
fun.
Redding, California. We're going to watch the fireworks over the river. It's going to be so fun.
Yes, and I'll be in Bear Lake. We'll watch the fireworks
Nice.
over the lake. There's going to be a fun little small town parade. Oh, it's just it's the best holiday to celebrate in a kind of a more rural place, in my opinion. Big
Totally.
city 4th of July's are kind of meh.
You need small town 4th of July because you
Yes,
need a big sky for the fireworks and you need space for lots of people.
exactly.
So, guys, today, in honor of this holiday, we are doing a special episode. We are going to do a listening practice for you guys where we will simulate an IELTS Part 4, where it's just one speaker reading about something like from history or some like advice or something like that. Um, and we'll give you 4 questions. We'll talk about the strategies of how to approach these questions on the exam. And then we'll read you the history of the 4th of July, and then we'll give you the answer. So, excellent part 4 practice today.
Yes, this is going to be great for you guys to have some real life, real time practice. We know you're doing practice listening exams, Cambridge, but you don't have someone right there walking you through the strategies.
Yeah.
So, unless you're in 3 keys,
Yeah.
right? So if you're not, go to allearsenglish.com/keys, but this will
Nice.
give you a little bit of insight into how much it helps to have someone walk you through the strategies and see, oh, that made finding these answers really easy.
Really easy. All right. So, the first step on the listening exam, before you listen, you have a little bit of time to look at the questions. Now, 3 keys IELTS strategies are when we look at the questions, we underline keywords and predict answers. You got to do this before you listen. It takes practice to get fast, right? Just like anything. But you got to do this so you are ready for the answers when they do come. So let's look at these questions. Aubrey, what is question number 1 today?
Yeah, so the first 2 questions are sentence completion questions. So you would see the directions say write no more than 1 word and or a number. And then the first question is the 4th of July is a blank holiday.
Yes. So underlining keywords, 4th of July, of course, and holiday. Now, this is where it is very important. Here we need to predict what we need. So the 4th of July is a blank holiday. What is missing from that sentence? What are we listening for?
Yeah, and you can see that it's some kind of adjective. It's going to be
Yep.
a word describing what type of holiday the 4th of July is. So look at how you've narrowed down what to look for, to listen for as you hear this audio. You're listening for a word that is describing what type of holiday it is.
Exactly, exactly. So, we could even predict exactly what we might hear. It could be like, fun,
Fun. Yeah.
celebratory, something like that.
Yeah, or it could be a word describing. Yeah, it's hard to give any more details with that because I know what the answer is going to be. But yeah, it's going to be an adjective.
All right, awesome. Okay, and then the next one, I'm just changing something here on the fly. The
Nice.
next one is every non-necessary government institution is blank that day. So, keywords: non-necessary
Mhm.
government institution, right? We could hear parallel expressions for those words, like non-necessary could be inessential, not needed, something
Not
like that.
vital. Yeah.
Not vital, nice.
Mhm.
Government, authorities, federal, that's everything I got for government. Institution, organization, maybe. Remember, guys, when we are looking at the keywords before we listen, we are also so active by predicting parallel expressions for those keywords. The more you think about before you listen, the more you'll understand. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
because you've heard us say this before that usually it's going to be parallel expressions in the question that you're going to find some kind of parallel. You're going to hear some kind of parallel. If you actually hear the exact words, that's often a distractor. So
yeah,
those parallel expressions are so key.
All right. So now we need to predict what we need, right? So every non necessary government institution is blank that day. Is not open, is closed, maybe, is
Boring?
off work, is
Right,
boring.
something that would describe them, right?
So
Yeah.
we know we need an adjective of some sort. Probably a past participle. That's
Mhm.
possible. All right. Now, moving on to multiple choice. Now, multiple choice questions are actually the most difficult on listening because there's so much to keep track of. So let's look at these strategies. All right. We have one multiple choice question. So, which of the following is a typical 4th of July activity for many families? Now, that's the question. What are the key words in that question?
Yeah, so 4th of July activity is definitely going to be a keyword, right? We're not just thinking about, 4th of July in general. You're now listening for, oh, what type of activities and then families. So
Yes.
typical 4th of July activity and families are all the keywords there.
So, the reason why we underline keywords, just to remind you guys, is because those are the words we're listening for, right? That's what we're listening for because the answer is always next to the keywords. And that's true for reading as well. So, possible answer choices: A, making red, white, and blue decorations. B, attending a parade. C, going to the post office. So we also should underline keywords in the answers, the possible answers. So A, I would say decorations. B, I would say parade. And C, I would say post office. Now, here's an extra step that I hope you guys have time to take, but it does take practice. With multiple choice questions, you should also try to eliminate impossible answers or answers that don't make sense before you listen because they will be distractors. So, here we can eliminate one of these.
Right? It really doesn't make sense going to the post office on a holiday. Like,
Right.
what would be celebratory about that, right? Even if you know nothing about the 4th of July, you probably have some kind of idea that it's like a holiday, a celebration, and you know that going to the post office is a very like daily routine thing. Who knows? I guess for some holidays somewhere, maybe mailing
Mm,
something is part of the celebration, but
mhm.
that's just so rare that I agree. I think you could eliminate this. Mailing letters to Santa is what I'm thinking of. Even
That's
that, you don't
true.
go to the real post office.
I know, totally. Yeah, so remember that, on the listening and reading exams, guys, you are almost never gonna be 100% sure any step of the way, right? That's why we have
Right.
strategies. We're making our best guess every step of the way. So, like here, no, we can't be 100% sure that's not an answer, but I can be 99% sure
Yeah,
that's not an
for
answer.
sure.
So, I would go ahead and cross it off. And now I'm only listening for two possible choices there. So, it makes it easier.
Yeah, this is such a smart strategy because you just don't have time. You're not going to be able to listen for every single word. Anything you can do to save yourself that time to eliminate a little bit of what you're having to listen for to key in on is going to help you hear those answers.
Mhm. All right. So I am going to read just a couple paragraphs, guys. This is to mimic part 4 of the listening test. So we gave you the questions in the beginning. If you're at a computer or you have your phone with you, go to allearsenglish.com and search 1291 because we will list the questions in the blog. All right. Okay, here we go. Independence Day is a holiday in the US famous for the patriotic displays held across the country. It's a federal holiday, so all non essential federal institutions, such as the post office, are closed on that day. If the 4th of July happens to be on a Saturday or Sunday, then federal government employees will instead take the day off on the next Friday or Monday. Families often celebrate Independence Day by hosting or attending a picnic or barbecue. Many gather with relatives or friends, especially if it's a 3 or 4 day weekend. Decorations like streamers and banners are always colored red, white, and blue, the colors of the American flag. Parades are often held in the morning, while fireworks displays occur in the evening after dark at such places as parks, sports stadiums, and beaches. Okay.
Well done.
Thanks. I'm good at reading. Okay. Which, by the way, guys, I want to give you a little heads up on tomorrow's episode. We are going to talk about reading, but let's get back to
Mm.
listening today. So, Aubrey, can you remind us what question number one was?
Yes, so this was a completion question. It was the 4th of July is a blank holiday.
Okay.
Hopefully, you guys heard this as you were listening. You were actively listening for some kind of adjective to describe what type of holiday that is or something specific about this holiday,
Yeah. So any adjective that is next to holiday, that's what
right?
we're listening for, right? And the only one at the beginning, because these answers are in order, the only one is federal. It's a federal holiday. So federal is the answer. Number two. What's question number two?
Yes. Every non necessary government institution is blank that day.
All right. And what did I say about non-necessary government institutions, Aubrey?
All right. We were listening for parallel expressions. So hopefully you guys heard that keyword non essential. It said non essential federal institutions, such as the post office, are closed. And you guys, with the predictions we made, we recognize this might be not open or maybe a word ending in ed. So likely you were able to hone in on that.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, last question today, guys. Multiple choice. Which of the following is a typical 4th of July activity for many families? And I want to point out the one we eliminated, C, going to the post office. This is exactly like something you'd see on the exam. It is a straight up distractor because the post office is mentioned in the beginning there. So some
Mhm.
students might not pay attention to the logic of the questions and
Right.
answers, right? And just hear post office and be like, oh, I saw that somewhere. I'm going to circle it.
Exactly. You don't want to fall for those traps, right? Every IELTS test writer is intentionally putting in those pitfalls, those traps where they have the exact words from the question, but if you don't think about the logic, if you don't think about what type of answer is really needed here, you might fall for that. Don't fall for it.
Totally. Don't fall for it, guys. You won't because you're listening to IELTS Energy. Okay, so what was the correct answer there, Aubrey?
Yeah, so the correct answer was attending a parade. Heard that keyword parade, and it said parades are often held in the morning. So it's
Mhm,
telling you this is an activity that is often held as part of 4th of July. Decorations is also a distraction here. It says decoration like
mhm.
streamers and banners are colored red, white, and blue because there's nothing in the audio about making decorations on 4th of July. That's just a distractor.
Exactly. Awesome. Um guys, we're excited to do a special episode like this today. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, if this listening practice is helpful for you, leave a comment on IELTS Energy TV on YouTube. Tell us that you liked it, that you want some more, or you can put it in a review for the show. Anywhere you're listening, guys, just say, that listening practice episode was amazing. Please do more of those and we'll read it and then we will.
And then we will. Yes, awesome. Well, happy 4th of July to everyone out there listening, whether you're celebrating it with us in the United States or live somewhere else and just like learning about other cultures' holidays. I know that's true for myself. I love learning about holidays wherever I travel. It's just so fun to learn
Me
about
too.
someone else's culture.
Totally. All right, awesome. Aubrey, thanks for doing this special episode today.
You too. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.